Welcome back. This is Sir Shadow with Sir Shadow Gaming, and again I brought you Town of Salem. Now, in this video I won't be doing much talking. I'll probably just be explaining what's happening. So as of right now, we're just joining the game. I chose to be Mr. Anderson, and you can see other people have chosen to be other names. There's really no theme going on. I mean, I guess I see a zoo. I guess we're going with zoo, because I see a lion and an elephant, and someone's name was Zoo. So I am the jailer, and like I explained in the last video, a jailer brings people in at night, and depending on what they say to me, I can decide to kill them or let them go. Now if I kill them and they are a town person and they're not mafia or serial killer, then I can no longer kill people at night. Now as you saw there, I was actually too slow to jail anyone, because you have to do it, you have to select during the day, and I just wasn't fast enough. So like I explained in my last video, I didn't need to do a will because I was a mafia, and mafia don't need wills. But for a jailer or a townsperson, a will can come in pretty handy. And like I said, like I wrote down, I actually was getting a drink, and it didn't even matter what I would do that night, because I was role blocked. So that means an escort was following me. So then instead of saying getting a drink, I said role blocked. I guess I couldn't spell that night. So like I was a sheriff, and he looked into beta and died. So let's see what happens with the townspeople. Let's see what they decide to do. And then Lion was a vigilante, so he could have killed anyone he chose. And now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be jailing, looks like Reading Rainbow. Nope, I'm going to be jailing Cotton Mather. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write down, I'm going to be jailing Cotton Mather, so that if I die, the townspeople know that it was SK. And then Beta just asked me, or asked the chat who was role blocked, and that was me. But I didn't say anything. And you know, the first few rounds, no one really talks because there's nothing really to talk about. And I don't think where anyone's going to be voted up. Usually if someone votes someone up the first day, it usually means that they're the executor. Yeah, see, Cotton Mather voted against Elephant, so that leads me to believe that Cotton Mather is executor. And now, just because he voted, a few more people voted, and then he actually canceled his vote and is now spamming the chat with it. And we actually had 7 votes, but wasn't quick enough. Now, as you see in the bottom left, I have 3 executions left. I'm sorry, I can execute 3 people, but again, like I said, if it's a jail, or if I kill a townie, then I believe I lose my privileges to execute. Now, I asked him for his role, because if you don't say your role, usually means you're mafia or serial killer. And then I actually choose execute him because he didn't say anything. And as you saw, 5 people died. I believe 2 of them left. So I killed one, the SK killed one, and the Mafia killed one. As you saw, he was killed by Jailer, and he actually was the Godfather, so I did well by killing him. Now that the Godfather's dead, the Mafioso is promoted to Godfather, and the Framer is still the Framer. Now if the Mafioso dies, the Framer then becomes the Mafioso. And we just lost Morgan Freeman, who was a lookout, and a lookout is a pretty important role because he can see who goes where. So if someone were to, whoever visited, say, Platypus last night, he would have been able to say that. And the doctor, I mean, he's an okay role, but it's not as important as the lookout. And then Iga, the Framer, was killed. And I think she committed suicide. I actually didn't see, so apologize. So now that the Framer's gone, there's only the Mafioso left. Also, the serial killer. And there could be an executioner or a jester still out, depending on if we kill the jester or if somehow we killed the executioner's target first round and he became a jester and died. So now I'm going to choose to jail dry. And it looks like everyone is voting for Beta along with myself. And she's saying that she is the doctor, and that could be the case if she was town random, or random town doctor. Now I'm going to vote guilty because I believe that Beta is the SK. And we will see if my assumption is right. So there was 2 people voted innocent and 4 people voted guilty. So they are she gets hung. And now that we voted guilty, she's saying to kill us. And as we were right, she is a serial killer. So that just leaves the Mafioso left with 7 people. So the town's odds are pretty good. And again, I'm asking for Dry's role. And he's saying, no. He's saying, I'm retributionist. So he was letting me, he's asking me to let him revive. So I make a deal with him saying that if you don't revive this round, I'm gonna tell everyone that he told me that he was retributionist and that he did not revive. So now that the SK is gone and there's only one Mafia left, only one person to kill, and that poor soul was Moist. And Moist rolls escort, so he was the one who blocked me the first night. And what I'm doing there is I'm seeing who voted guilty and rethinking my decision about Dry. So since Zoo keeps asking any leads, I asked him what his role was. And then he says he's medium, which is very plausible because the medium hasn't died yet. So it's very plausible that he is medium and no one else is coming forth and saying they're medium. So and I'm saying put Rainbow up because I have a feeling that reading Rainbow is the last Mafia. And now since I voted against her, she voted against me. And I actually decided to jail her. And she's saying that she's an investigator, which is still very possible that she is the investigator. And then she says that Dry is sheriff or executioner. And I told her that he is Rhett. So now I am rethinking my decision because she's saying that and actually ended up dying. But since she was saying, and it couldn't have been reading Rainbow, because she was in jail with me and Mafia can't kill while they're in jail. So it leads me back to believing it was Dry. But since reading Rainbow is investigator and investigated him and said he is either sheriff or executor, then that's not him. So I now go over to believe that it is Zoo. Now that Zoo's talking about never say that you're jailer and you're welcome, SK, makes me really believe that he is the last Mafia. But I guess I said it was Elephant. And now that I said that I think it's a Rainbow, they're gonna vote her up even though she was jailed last night because I didn't have time to put it in my will. So uh 3 seconds left to put her up and they didn't do it in time. So the medium's still alive. And I'm saying that it's Elephant. And then I'm saying that I jailed the Rainbow the night it died. So it couldn't have been Rainbow. And now everyone's telling him put it in his will quick because the medium could die tonight because it is a very important role. And Dry died, and let us see who Dry was. And he was retributionist, and he wasted it because he's allowed to revive one person, and he did not revive anyone. Then I was Zoo saying that GF is dead, and Rainbow's correcting him. So now the voting will begin, and Rainbow voted up Dean, which at this point I know that it's not Rainbow. I don't believe it's Alpha. So since reading Rainbow is Invest, she's saying that Elephant is Gesture. So after she said that, I go back to thinking that it's Zoo, because he has been talking all game, and usually when people do that, they're usually some important role. So now I'm asking who the medium is so I can get a better grasp of who's alive. So he's saying it's Zoo. So now I believe that is for sure Dean. So now I'm spamming Dean, because I am for sure it is Dean. Because now that Zoo is medium, Alpha's dead, Elephant is Gesture, and Rainbow is Invest, that only leaves Dean. So hopefully the town votes him up. So now reading Rainbow is saying that Dean is GF, and now Zoo is believing. So all they need to do is get Elephant, and that could be a little hard to do because he is Gesture, and most of the time the Gesture wants to get voted up, so he doesn't really go with the town. Now if they don't vote him up this round, Dean is either going to kill Zoo or reading Rainbow, because he knows Elephant won't vote against him if he doesn't vote against him this round. And what I'm saying right now is that the town will win if they vote Dean up, which is true, because if they vote him up, that's the last Mafia. So Zoo and Rainbow voted against Dean, and Elephant surprisingly voted against Dean. So with all that in mind, if he is in fact the GF, then the town wins. So now it's time for their judgment, and reading Rainbow and Zoo are for sure going to vote guilty, and Elephant is asking what his role is for some reason. And it doesn't really matter if Elephant voted or not, because those two voted for guilty. And Dean just said GG, so that means that he was mafioso turned to Godfather. That has been another episode of Town of Salem. If you guys enjoy this and want more, a subscribing and like would be very much appreciated, and I will see you in the next video.